Welcome to another episode of Straight Up Big Ideas with Dave Howard.
Delegating allows you to work on your business. And rather than going to recreate the wheel elsewhere, lean in the heck into that business to grow further from that existing piece of business. It reminds you how small we are on this earth, and there's a lot of world out there.
I'm really excited to present my next guest here, Matthew Reynolds, who is our newest partner at Lee and Associates in Atlanta. And I have some great questions for him. I think this is going to be very entertaining. And the 15 minutes makes us speak faster, right?
Let's get into it.
Let's go. All right. Usually we do a question from one of our viewers. I have no idea what the question is. So, you ready to go?
Let's go.
Daniel from Louisville. If you could have dinner with any business leader or entrepreneur, past or present, who would it be?
I mean, any president, the current president,
And why?
he's running our country, so I got a few things to learn.
Is there any specific questions you like to ask? Like,
How
why
much
does he eat
golf?
McDonald's all the
How
time?
much golf does he play in a week?
Yeah. What's his next golf course going to be?
Yes. Or he could probably use a few more people that disagree with him in his cabinet, too. I'd mention that. I just think it's impressive. You got something to learn from somebody like that,
I agree.
good or bad.
I agree. Well, Daniel from Louisville, thank you very much.
That's a deep start. All
I
right.
mean,
These are all going to
really,
be
usually we
softballs
go
now.
and say, what do you want for Christmas? Here we went right into it. All right, you ready for some more?
Let's get into it.
Looking ahead, 1 to 3 years, where do you see yourself and what skills do you think you need to develop to get there? Now, this is an interesting question because you have worked very hard the last 3 years to become one of the youngest partners in our firm. So, this question of looking ahead 1 to 3 years, where do you see yourself and what skills do you need? It's kind of a good one. What do you think?
In that period, just building out our team further,
And what does that mean?
people, processes, everything. So
You're on a team with,
my partner, Chip Ackerman, and then, ideally we have, support staff, transaction coordinator, maybe a junior associate, building out what we've been doing was building out the processes,
Mhm.
but, you got to build those out first, then you bring on the people that are the right fit. So that's what we plan to do over the next year to 3.
And for our audience who's worldwide, what do you do?
Industrial, warehouse, distribution, and manufacturing assignments across Atlanta and the country.
So, how many cities do you think you've done a transaction in throughout the
Probably
United States?
30 or 40.
That's great. And is it any different in those cities than in Atlanta?
Every time.
What's different?
Well, the people are always different, so that makes every deal different because you're, different personalities. You're balancing to ultimately achieve what your client wants. So yeah, every city's different. Every city has its own, culture of brokers and owners, and even within what I think is interesting is even like institutional owners that are coast to coast in those individual markets. The people that are in those offices are different. So it really is case by case. That's what makes it
So, it's
fun.
a people business.
That's what I hear.
I think so. Ready? Prompt. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to say. Are there any habits or skills? I got to make myself laugh sometimes. Are there any habits or skills you've had to unlearn or replace to improve?
Delegate.
You have to
That's a
delegate
tough one
more.
for me. Yeah, I like to take ownership of too much. So that's probably the biggest one that comes to mind.
Learn how to delegate.
Mhm.
I would agree. That is
There's
something you not you as an individual, but us as most people need to learn how to delegate. in
You
order to grow.
you probably tell this to our junior brokers, but working in your business versus on your business, that's a big one for me. And so delegating allows you to work on your business, which is
Why
how you
don't you
achieve.
delegate?
Mostly it's just because it's almost the lazy thing for me to do just to do it myself. So, in the hindsight, my time spent probably better doing other things for our team,
Like talking to new customers and pressing the flesh.
taking our business to win more business.
Good answer. What do you now know that you wish you knew when you first started?
Embracing what your different differentiators are.
What does
Like
that mean?
like for me, super I think it's a unique path going from broker to owner back to broker. And so while at first, that may be something that's unusual.
Can you elaborate to the audience what you mean
So
by broker to owner?
out of school, I became a broker in our Greenville office. To move back home to Atlanta, I worked with an institutional owner, Exeter, handling leasing and acquisitions for them. Coming back to Atlanta this time at Lee, I think just as an example, leveraging that experience to not just go win landlord business, but from what our team's been doing a lot of representing occupiers. Here's the playbook of how we do this and how we achieve it. You're walking the walk. You've been there and you're showing them the blueprint of how to get things done.
Mhm.
So I think it
Does
took
that
a
help you get business?
no, but not specifically that. It's probably trips good looks, but I would
So we should
say,
have had him on here.
yeah. Well, you're stuck with me, so it's never won the business, but it immediately sets the tone for the conversation that we're there to bring value to them because we understand what needs to happen.
What skill, habit, or asset helped you rise to the top last year?
Well, it was also part of my answer for what we would try to achieve over the next year to three, but it's scaling. So as far as trying to delegate what I need to be doing and what I don't need to be doing, but
Hmm.
also too the success we had last year. I mean, success is a lagging indicator in our business. The work that went into a lot of that production was done majority of 2024. So it's just hard to point to one specific thing. Although what we started to do last year and we plan to do this year is taking business we've won and rather than going to recreate the wheel elsewhere, lean in the heck into that business to grow further from that existing piece of business, if that makes sense, rather than trying to go, form all those different relationships separately.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. I got some other questions here. You ready? Where are you from? Where'd you go to college? And are you married?
I'll start with the most important one. I am married.
Hmm.
I've been married 3 years. We have a little 3-month-old girl, and I'm from here in Atlanta, born and raised. And I went to Wofford College in Spartanburg, South Carolina. I played soccer there, and that's where I met my wife.
Wow, Wofford College. Shout out to Wofford, huh?
That's right. Didn't make the NCAA tournament this year, but
What's up with that?
they were in it last year. But we drove all the way to Lexington, Kentucky to see them play last year.
Wow.
But
Is your wife from here too?
no, she's from Virginia Beach, but her grandfather went to Wofford. That's how she found it, and
Huh.
I'm grateful he did.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Other question is, what kind of car do you drive and why did you buy it?
I get to highlight my dad car.
Oh,
So
you have a dad car
well,
now?
I needed an extra row, so I drive a GX 550. It's a Lexus
What is
SUV.
that?
It's just an SUV.
SUV.
Yeah, I had a 4Runner, but I needed that third row. So both cars were blue. My wife says I like everything blue, so it's the same
Well, you
blue.
got a blue jacket, huh?
That's
But you don't have blue eyes.
no, my daughter
Is your
does though.
shoes blue? Well, they're kind
No,
of gray.
my wife and my daughter have blue eyes. So
Really?
yes,
So blue is your favorite color?
it is.
Do you have a car too?
What do you mean?
Or just the SUV? Do
Oh no, just the
you ride
SUV. I don't
motorcycles?
have multiple vehicles like
Do you have
you.
horses?
No horses,
No wagons?
no wagons.
Bikes?
Only transportation
Mopeds?
is my wife and I's car.
That's it.
That's it.
Where was your last vacation that was memorable, and where did you go, and what did you learn from that experience? That's a very good question.
Most recent or most memorable? I didn't.
Memorable.
Probably last year, my wife and I went to Italy before she was pregnant, and it was eye opening. The food was amazing.
Yes, it
You
is.
gave me many recommendations that
Yes,
my
I
wallet
did,
hurt
and
for.
I've had most of them.
Yes. So probably tied together, Italy and London were my two favorite, just because it reminds you how small we are on this earth, and there's a lot of world out there,
Hmm.
which you often preach to people.
Hmm. And where do you plan to go to next?
Somewhere back in Europe, actually, scratch that. We're trying to go to Japan. I really want to go to Europe. Will probably be again after that, but we really want to go to either Kyoto or Tokyo or both.
Should go to both. They're completely different. But it's an amazing place. Completely different than anything you would see in the United States. So would would definitely say go there.
Looking forward to it.
Good. Is there anything that you want to tell our audience about, you know, brokerage in general? What maybe some of the younger folks that are getting in the business should be aware of or look out for or, look into as a new agent starting out?
Like little nuggets, I guess, to share. I think that our younger brokers, they don't need to be afraid to protect their time. That's a big one. And I
Yes,
know you
time is
spend
so important.
that's all we have, in a day.
Hmm.
So, and it can be very difficult. I mean, if I think back, you've got those early conversations and you don't want to potentially miss out on an opportunity because you didn't, bend over backwards for that potential client. But and you don't know what's real and what's not. But I think that's when you just really got to lean in, hopefully on a partner, maybe myself, just to say, hey, can you sniff test this? That could save you weeks of work
Hmm.
by just having that little conversation. So I'm a bit stubborn. I like to try to do things myself. And I think that's a terrific piece of advice is to say, maybe not go run this deal with me, but just, hey, this is what I'm working at. Can I run this idea by you? That is probably,
Well, it's an important component in our
oh, yeah,
culture here, right?
no doubt. And my door is always open.
What would
It's
you,
probably closed most of the time, but you can knock.
yeah, I think every time I've walked by, it's
Yeah.
closed.
I need a sign.
Maybe we just need to take the door off the hinge.
That could work.
Yeah. Do you still want blinds? Because that was a request I heard.
You know, for my ADD, I could probably use them,
Hmm.
but no, it's nice.
Does ADD help you or hinder you in your business?
In this business, it's very helpful. It's challenge every day, but no, being able to work on all these different balls in the air, hot potato,
Hmm.
it's the best thing I could be doing.
So
No
the
2 days the same.
the question I wanted to ask and I didn't earlier was what made you pick your partner trip? What makes you guys a good team?
So when I first got into the business, I was on a team, and then when I was at Exeter, I ran a market with two other guys, and so I quickly learned the best teams. You find what you're good at, you find what you're not good at, and that person fills that role. And Trip and I balance each other out almost pretty much perfectly. So everything,
So chemistry.
well, and just strengths and weaknesses. So you know that's if you're on a team with somebody and you're both pretty good at the same things and bad at others, you're not being very efficient with your time. So
And
we
usually it
balance
won't
each other
work.
out. Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
So we fit together like that in pitching business.
And lastly, because we actually did go all the way through, I was just playing with you there. When you're 70 years old, what's what are some of the things that you want to say that you accomplished? What makes your life complete? And that's a hard question to ask because you're not 70, but what is your life plan? What makes you happy when you're 70 looking at yourself in the mirror?
Well, as a recent dad in December, only 3 months ago, I would say having a few grandkids at that age and having my kids, hopefully more than one, God willing, at that time that want to be with my wife and I and spend that time together. Anything we could do here pales in comparison to that. But professionally, I would say, you've built out a team that in our business, it's a blessing, but you can build out a team that continues to run with you there every day or not necessarily every day.
Hmm.
So building that out and that framework, there's a lot of people in this business that keep doing it even at that age. So I don't know. I'm too much of a deal junkie. I may not have
Well,
picked that
that's
up
where the
then.
delegation comes in, right?
Yeah, well,
You're only
it's
as good as the people around you, and you can't do it all yourself.
that's right.
And to answer your first question, yes, hopefully there'll be many more children in your future, and they will all want to hang out with you because that is truly the most important thing.
I'm just getting a taste of it.
So, thank you. It's been a pleasure,
That was fun.
and hopefully we can do more. Maybe next time we're doing an hour.
That'd be great.